Ball knowledge. I wouldn't say I have the greatest ball knowledge, and honestly, when it comes to every single league, I can't tell you I'm the best. I used to be able to just say every player from a club if you told me what club it was. I'm talking like 2016, 2017, that season. You could have brought up the most obscure club. I could have told you the starting 11 for Pescara, who finished last in Serie A that year. My ball knowledge was insane. But now, I'm cooked. Recently I made a video that I said I was not always a Liverpool fan. I wasn't always a Liverpool fan. I went on to talk about how I was a Napoli fan and how I did go on to cheer for Liverpool. But I wasn't always a Napoli fan either. When it comes to the first club that I ever watched and really supported, so we'd have to go back to 2009. That's when FIFA 10 came out. I didn't have an Xbox or a PlayStation back then. I had a Wii. You couldn't use it just like any regular controller like this. You had to hold one remote in your hand and the nunchuck in the other hand. This was for running, and this was for passing and shooting. And for tackles, I remember you had to shake the remote to slide tackle. I wasn't too into football at the time. I loved being able to just be aggressive and you shake the remote and you just injure someone. So I would go in and just play FIFA 10 with my dad, and we would be on opposite sides. He would play as Napoli, and then I would just slide tackle the whole time. I would see how many people I can injure, how many red cards I can get before things get interesting or before I start to finally score goals. That obviously wasn't the point of the game, so eventually my dad started playing co-op with me. We would look at all the player names and stuff, and we would play as obscure clubs. But back then, Sampdoria was actually a pretty popular club, and that was the club that I wanted to support. Mostly because I loved that attacking duo of Gianpaolo Pazzini and Antonio Cassano, and we would just always play as that team. And I eventually enjoyed playing FIFA the regular way, the way you should be playing and not always getting fouls and red cards. But I think everyone starts off that way with FC. You don't really play to try to win right away. You just want to injure people. You treat it like it's wrestling. Eventually, though, I did start to seriously support Napoli as well. And Sampdoria was always just one of those clubs that I loved to watch. And one of my favorite players of all time is Fabio Quagliarella. Just a legend for Sampdoria. Sampdoria is a pretty old club and they have a lot of history. And they've been in Serie A for a really long time until recently. But 27 was always my number and I just loved wearing 27. I loved wearing 7 for Lavezzi and 27 for Quagliarella. When I play with my friends, I'm wearing number 27 with my own name, and it all comes back to Sampdoria. So I always associate Sampdoria with that FIFA 10 memory of me constantly slide tackling and getting a red card. And instead of celebrating goals, I would be celebrating people limping off as I injured them. And it always translated into the kind of players that I like. I always like a center back or a CDM that's very aggressive and will make those risky tackles or will just be aggressive, like Van Dijk. Unfortunately, Sampdoria are not the best club right now. They're in Serie B. I don't watch them as much. It's hard to actually watch Serie B. It's really hard to find a stream or watch a match. And I kind of moved on. I watch a lot of Napoli matches. I watch Liverpool. One day, I will probably do a video of me playing FIFA 10 and going back to my roots. Bye!